Good afternoon. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP. Thank you all for joining us and staying with us till the end. Honorable Nalasika, today I am your host for the afternoon. My name is Badun Dash. I am from Bangladesh. Dear knowledge seeker, I am proud to be associated with IGP. IGP is a social and ISRP International Education and Training Institute. Last year, we already served 35 million plus knowledge seekers from 100 plus countries. IGP is internationally recognized and globally accredited. We are connected to more than 450 plus profession and 4,500 plus organizations. Institute of Global Professional is an education institute that provides social work globally recognized and reportable with self-student community resource providing holistic social work and education. We believe that it's not effective in case one skill just by acquiring formal education. So we provide effective training and consultation to generate profession generation all over the world. We distribute our services locally, nationally, internationally to students, job seeker, job holder and also for learner the respective campus location and distance learning platform. We are an occupational and dependable institute. RGP is one of the famous online institute from all over the world. Our vision is education is not a business product, it's a part of our human rights. Based on our vision, we are trying to reach all corners of the world for free webinars, seminar courses, our quiz competition, mentoring, and counseling, etc. On the other side, we are also trying to offer more than 100 million services for free, like resume builder, cover letter, motivation letter, and wellness platform for gathering general knowledge which can update all day. Kids learning game website, free course, converse sites, and many more. We help empower you to learn to meet their expectation and even become highly skilled people. We implement several training program, webinar, and offline online courses for youth and learner by professional trainers, speaker, and coaches. Our sessions are conducted by globally renowned professionals to develop all kind of youth and promote the education of their abilities and personal spreading knowledge is crucial for the study of global professional. We believe that knowledge is level, light, and vision. So we try to understand the needs of today's generation and will serve them with research and practice method. We must have a genuine concept for the learner we present. More diversity, growth, and innovation are required to lead a session with professionalism, passion, and integrity. IGP members are committed to offering effective quality service and confident improvement so that individuals who seek information can improve their skill level and value. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Dear IGP speaker, participant, and will be shared. At this moment, this is a very important message for you all. We change and design our website www.eduigp.com. On this website, we have surprise for everyone. Hope you will be benefited. We already launched our new website where you can find all our previous activities together with lots of new feature. But one strong point is that without an account or logged in, you cannot enjoy our service. So create an account for once with proof information. Note that with proof information, you'll enjoy our feature with business data, you cannot do anything here. From now on, you have to participate in live quiz competition on our website. We replace slide. You have to join directly on our website. Now you can check all of our previous webinars with verified certificate. Now it's easier and time and because after the session, we will not provide you any code for certification. You have to take part in one. After that, if you pass, you will receive your certificate, otherwise not. But you can take part in an exam unlimited till you pass. If you are an IGP speaker, you can download all your previous certificate, speakership certificate. If you are a host of IGP, you can download a certificate. Graduate. If you are an honor life quiz competition winner, you can download a certificate of participation. If you are selected for lifetime membership, then you can download a certificate of lifetime membership easily. Besides this, if you participate in any award function which organizes common support with the IGP, you can download that also. You can actually prepare and download 18 types of certificate from our website within a minute. Certificate of Global Professional Membership, Certificate of Global Influence in the Pandemic, Certificate of Active Knowledge Seeker, Certificate of Social Activities during the Pandemic, Certificate of Achievement IGP Knowledge Seeking Campaign 2020, 2021, and 2022. Survey of participation webinar series 1, authentic assessment in teaching learning, survey of participation webinar series 2, teaching with a foreign language and assessment, survey of participation webinar series 3, digital classroom engagement tools, survey of participation webinar series for the new trend in education, survey of participation webinar series 5, office leadership and managerial skills, survey of participation webinar series 6, trend and innovation in mathematics education, survey of participation webinar series 7, research comprehension approach, Certificate of Participation Webinars is 8. Art in Teaching Special Program in the Art. Certificate of Participation Webinars is 9. 21st Century Student Teaching Mathematics. Certificate of Ajib Corporate Ambassador. Certificate of Ajib Campus Ambassador, which you can prepare and download within a minute. From now, you can participate in 1,000 plus international level quiz with verified certificate. Teaching tips for teacher, health tips for parents, health tips for teens, unification tools for teacher. You can join IGP alumni. You can check out our Press Student Services website for free and many more. Dear IGP well-wisher, we promise to be a but lack of technical problem, we are late sending you on time. This is a great opportunity to collect your previous condition. Let's solve all issue from our website. Now you can enroll, reset password, everything. You can check the for all of the details. It's a cordial request to check our button and pages on our website. You like and see the benefit. Thank you, but note that without an account or login, you cannot enjoy our services. At present, we are going to start our 1976 webinar, which name is Entrepreneurship, Attitude, Behavior, and Skill. And today our speaker's name is B.S. Lokesh. He's from India. Before I hand over the stage to our speaker, sir, wants to share a very little bit about him. Trainer, coach, and mentor, financial advisor. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with his presentation. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with his presentation. Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Sir, the stage is yours. You can start your presentation now.
Okay, thank you. Can I take over? Can I start my? Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you from wherever you are on this planet Earth. I hope people from different countries and continents are part of this knowledge sharing session. Hope you all had a wonderful Merry Christmas, having been showered by a lot of gifts, sweets, and blessings from your dear ones. And we all are waiting for the arrival of the new year. So let's hope for better things to happen in 2024. And before I really start my presentation, today my job is to take you through a very small journey of entrepreneurship and innovation. Let's try to learn what is this innovation is all about and what is this entrepreneurship. Why do you really need an entrepreneur and what are the basic qualities, characteristics, and the skills one should possess to be a successful entrepreneur in a startup journey. Let me introduce myself. I am Lokesh BS from Bengaluru, Karnataka, India, the most sought after nation at this point in time. Basically, I am a chemical engineer. I am running three organizations. One is Agastya Academy, where I train, mentor, coach aspiring entrepreneurs and the student community in the areas of entrepreneurship and innovation, covering all disciplines of startup journey. And I do offer turnkey solutions to startup aspirants. And of course, I train people on soft skills also, maybe communication, leadership, interpersonal, and so many other disciplines. And I have an Atharva Cosmotech where I work on bioenergy. We provide alternative solutions. I work on green energy, renewable energy, alternative energy, because today fossil fuels are being depleted. Maybe in the next 10, 20, 30 years, we may not have this, fossil fuels like diesel, gas, and other things as a substitute, and also to conserve the nature in order to, like contain the global warming. We are looking for alternative energy, and that too in particular green energy. And Anvesha Foundation, I am associated with some of the voluntary organizations. They do conduct some rural community based program to train rural community for their small micro and cottage industries. This is my brief introduction in a very small nutshell. Before I really take you through the journey of today's topic, let's understand what this world has witnessed over a period of 200 or 300 years in terms of those economical changes that have taken place. Because today, to be an entrepreneur, to take up entrepreneurship as a career, you are pitching in a situation where you need to inculcate a lot of skills. Knowledge alone is not sufficient at this point in time. How did the journey happen? What all the things we have witnessed? Let's dig a bit here, okay? So way back before the scientific revolution took place, there were architects. They were themselves, they were called as Renaissance engineers. You must have heard Leonardo da Vinci and all such people. They built huge monuments, architectural buildings. And then came in the 17th century the first, that is called the first scientific revolution. That was a period when civil engineering, mechanical engineering took the driver's seat. First, like introduction of steam engine. Steam engine was the source of power, the first power that was introduced through steam engines. Then came in the 19th and 20th century, there was influx of other engineering subjects like electronics, maybe chemical, maybe electrical. Over a period of time, manufacturing was the mantra of that particular season because people started producing, manufacturing in volumes, especially in European countries. Huge production of products and like goods were witnessed in that 19th and the beginning of 20th century. Later came what is called microelectronics, telecommunications. They took charge. As these things started evolving, we started witnessing something called information technology. The pace with which information technology has invaded us, it's something unimaginable. It's a massive speed with which this information technology has literally invaded the world. Today, the barrage of informations, the heap of texts that are being generated through information technology is very, very, very vast. So, in a situation like this, the whole world has been reduced into a small global village. Today, sitting at the comfort of your home, you can buy anything on this planet Earth. That is what information technology is all about. When this information technology has made such a revolution on this planet Earth, for us to be entrepreneurs, what all the qualities, what all the characters and the skills we should possess in order to succeed in this journey. So there was a time knowledge alone was sufficient. Today, knowledge is basic need. Unless your knowledge is complemented by something called skills, you have to upskill, you have to downskill, you will have to upskill yourself. You have to develop a lot of skills, not only soft skills, maybe other skills which are called business skills. We call it them as business skills. Any business today, any business enterprises, if it runs for a period of 5 years successfully, you are done with it. There was a time when I was a student, when I started my industry. That was a time when industries were run for generations together. Couple of generations they would take over and run. Today, the technology, what type of technology we witness? Disruptive technology. Whatever the invention, whatever the technology present today is completely decimated by new technology tomorrow. In a complex, in a VUCA world, that's what we are all living in, something called VUCA world. We are vulnerable, that is volatile, things are uncertain and complex and a lot of ambiguity. So in a situation like this, to be an entrepreneur, what should we possess and how can we inculcate, and what is innovation? So let's all learn about these things, my good friends. Hope you all are with me. Yeah. Okay, let's try to understand, because what happens is entrepreneurship and innovation, they are two faces of a coin. Without being an innovator, without being innovative, there can never ever be an entrepreneur. The basic quality of an entrepreneurship is innovative, innovative in nature. So what is this innovation? Innovation is the introduction of something new. This something new further defined as it may be an idea, a method, or a device, or a process, or whatever it is. Something which is non existing, something new, something new. You have gone out of the box. You have thought out of the box and derived something, explored something. So innovation is something new, and something new idea, the turning an idea into a solution. Having an idea doesn't work, it doesn't suffice. You have to turn this idea into a solution from a customer's perspective, not from your perspective. A customer should want it, customer should use it. So why innovation is to make this planet earth a better place to live in. So innovation is something new. The basic definition, the rudimentary principle of innovation is introducing something new, adding value. Very, very, very important. Adding value from customer's perspective. You can fancy something. You may think your product or service has got a wonderful value. No, the customer has to say. It has to be complemented from customer's perspective. Then only it is called innovation. So innovation basically comprises three stages. One is invention. All our scientists and all, they have like invented so many things. A lot of research is being carried out. It's the process is on. So but that's only in paper. What they have done, what they have invented, what they have carried research abundantly is in a text format. It's a paper invention. So in order to an entrepreneur take this invention, and like he economically, socially, he will augment so many other aspects and develop it into a product or a service. So product and a service which is desirable by people. People should want it and it should be usable. So an invention, any research which is being carried out is converted, this idea is converted into a product or service, and the product or service should reach the desired one, the needy one. So innovation can be simply defined as invention, adoption, and diffusion. It may be a new idea, it may be novel idea, it may be a product, service, or a process which should have clear benefits, better benefits when compared to the existing product or a service which people are using. Successful innovations. Innovations always carry two important factors. One is they are usable. If you develop a product which is not usable, what is the fun out of it? So you should develop a product which is usable and desirable. People should like your product. You may like the product or service which you have developed. At the end of the day, it's the customer who has to say, who has to use, and it should be the customer's desire. So this is called innovation. Got my point? Hope you all are with me. What are the advantages of being innovative in life? An innovator. In what better way he accomplishes things when compared to the normal people? So, in an innovator, always innovative is in how you perform processes. Especially innovation is using of latest, using the state of art technology. Technology is evolving every moment. So innovation emphasizes that using the latest technology. When you are using that technology, you are developing certain standards, certain procedure, such as systematic things, so that that your strategies will work effectively and your strategies will be successful in the startup journey, and the results will be the desired ones. You will have a good results when you are planned, when you are systematic, when you are organized. Innovation paves way for you to be organized, standardized, and being systematic. So this is one advantage of innovation. And developing creativity. Innovation means a company has got off it, a pool of employees, and all of them they are creative. They have got their own ideas. So innovation gives chance for the like the stakeholders, maybe the people who are involved in that ecosystem of an enterprise, can come out and contribute their ideas so that we are evolving a good solution for any problems. So increases competitive, because as long as since you are using the latest technology, the competition is a healthy competition. So you are creating a competitive edge, a healthy competition wherein good products, desirable products, products with value, services with authenticity will come into the market. So what are the other advantages? Productivity. Automatically, when you go for a feasible technology, the production will increase and you will have a wonderful control over your production aspects, and more people are engaged, because in an enterprise ecosystem, you are there as a promoter, there is a financier, there are employees, there are people, that is, like a social capital is nothing but the humans for whom you are serving your products or service, and the market. So you are engaging the whole, you are engaging everyone who is a part of this ecosystem. So when you involve, and engage all the people in this activity, automatically you can expect better results to come. So you are adding value when you innovate and boost the marketing. You are definitely, see, when you want to really go to the market with your product, unless there is value addition, nobody will buy. So being innovative, it's your basic necessity to add value to the product or the service you are taking out, and increasing profits. So when you are really gone for a feasible technology and the economically viable one, automatically there will be increase in profits. So increase in profits means you will expand more employment, and at the same time you will be paying revenue to the nation. So an innovation always, like, takes part in nation building activities. Got my point? What are the different types of innovation that are being around? There is no, classical method to divide, like classify these things. There's nothing like that. We can, broadly look at four segments, four disciplines of innovation. One is incremental innovation, one is technology wellness, and what type of that means what type of technology, how intensely you are using technology, and if so, what is the impact on the market. Usage of technology, how does it impact the market? So incremental one, this is a very slow, steady, gradually, continuously you are bringing in new technology very slowly, so that equilibrium is not disturbed. You are there in the market, so with little impact in the market, and slowly taking technology, new methods, new processes, new ways. See, it doesn't mean only technical aspect, maybe operational ones, new strategies, new plans in the market, new methods to reach out to customers. So it's an incremental one. The next one is sustaining one. You have to sustain in the market. Your position you'll have to consolidate. So with use of minimum technology, you will see that you are sustainable, so that your position is consolidated. Nobody is displacing you. This is the sustaining ones. So incremental ones, sustaining one. And the next one, radical ones. This is very important. Completely, you are bringing in completely new technology. When you bring in new technology, you are not disrupting the market, but you are creating a new market for this. A radical. So technically, you are using the best of the technology, but you develop new market for this product or service. Got my point? And the most important one is the present situation scenario. What we are facing is the ambience with which we are blessed right now is disruptive technology. Technology not only disrupt the existing process or the method, but also disrupt the markets. So today's technology is disruptive. It's more engaging. So people have to be engaged every moment in technology. That is what, like, disruptive technology is all about. It's completely whatever the process or the method you have today, something will be developed tomorrow, and you are displaced. So it's more engaging and more immersive. So today We are in an era called immersive and disruptive technology. So that is what these things are very, like volatile, fragile for that matter. Because of the fact there will be development of technology every minute. So in a situation like this, you need to have lots and lots of wonderful skills inculcated with you so that you can take your enterprise forward successfully. Got my point? So incremental, sustaining, radical, and disruptive, these are the different methods of innovation. Now we studied what is innovation is all about. Let's look at an entrepreneur. So entrepreneur and innovation, they are like two faces of a coin. Without innovation, you cannot be called as an entrepreneur. Innovation cannot reach out to people unless there's an entrepreneur. So it's as good as a coin is invalid without having two faces. So the validity comes to the coin with two faces. Like that, an entrepreneurship and innovation are two faces of a coin. And who is this entrepreneur? How do you define him? I'm taking you through a very, rudimentary methods, my dear friends, because these are all the basic principles, basic methodologies you think, so that you I want you to orient yourself to that thought process. It's not that I'm teaching you completely the entrepreneurship, the startup journey. No. Nevertheless, I want to see that you will start thinking, you get oriented to that process of startup journey. So an entrepreneur is an individual who creates a new business, bearing most of the risk and enjoying most of the profits too. It's vice versa. Unless you take risk, you can't, grow. If you can't grow, you can't, you don't get the benefits, you don't get the profits. So it's a risk taking. So we call it as calculated risk in business. A person who is taking calculated risk is an entrepreneur. You can't take risk beyond the limit. One has to be analytic, one has to be calculative, one has to be diplomatic in assessing the quantum of risk that one can take. So an entrepreneur is one who creates a new business or enterprises, bearing most of the risks and enjoying most of the profits too. So this whole simple process of setting up business or enterprise is called entrepreneurship. Usually, an entrepreneur is commonly seen as an innovator, a source of new idea, energy, leadership qualities, and wonderful interpersonal communication skills. So, an entrepreneur should have this bunch of qualities to be called as an entrepreneur. Got my point? Sorry. Yeah. Why do we need an entrepreneur as such? Of course, we discussed some facts about innovation. I think same things will hold good for this, because an entrepreneur will create job opportunities. When you set up an enterprise, you need manpower. You need, humans to work with you. So the most essential and the basic advantage of being an entrepreneur is you are giving jobs to the needy one. You are creating jobs. You are creating employment. So an entrepreneur increase competition automatically. When there are good number of people, there will be competition, there will be healthy competition, which boosts productivity. So there is a mantra in entrepreneurship, my dear friends. That is, one is cost reduction. Your basic thought process should be such that how do you reduce the cost of a product or service you're looking at, and how do you add value, addition of value. Today, suppose if you think that you want to get into a mobile industry, if you manufacture a mobile, maybe today some good mobiles are being sold at a 20, 25,000, whatever it is. There'll be a whole lot of rate differences there. Let me not go into that. So for example, we'll take, there's a mobile today which is being sold at 10,000 rupees, and like manufacture a mobile with the same features and ask 11,000 rupees. Do you think people will pay? No. It's a bias market. People are spoiled with choices. So if you want to really cut into the market, what you should do, you should add value. You should give additional features, like maybe the battery backup, maybe its storage, maybe its aesthetics, maybe the look, maybe the tidy one, what all the things you can name, no problem. So when you really work on some existing products to be replaced, think how can you reduce its cost. Reduction of cost, addition of value. Reduce the cost, increase the value. Reduce the cost, increase the value. This is the basic mantra. So an entrepreneur and for innovation is built on, my good friends, on four pillars. Four pillars are: one is your product or service should be usable. There's no point in producing something which is of no use to anybody. So it's usable and desirable. Desirable by not by you, desirable by people. People should have the desire to use your products, buy your products. So one is usability, desirability, and technical feasibility. You should adopt such technology which is better than the existing one. Either you can reduce the cost, the time of production, or the time of service, and add value. And the next one is economically viable. So, unless it's economically viable, you can't make profits. Unless you make profits, you can't run your organization. How will you pay your employees? So, four pillars of any enterprises to be successful. That is what is called innovation and enter in your innovation and entrepreneurship journey. These four pillars, just bear it in mind: usability, desirability, technical feasibility, economical viability. So, any enterprises which is built on these four pillars, the foundation of these four pillars will have a strong evolution, and it will have a wonderful shelf life and be successful, and it will become a successful journey of an enterprise. Got my point? Just have get these things etched in your mind: usability, desirability, technical feasibility, economical viability. Hope you got me right. So what are the different types of entrepreneurs usually that like they are what we are witnessing? So we can broadly classify these people into four categories. One is small business entrepreneurs. We call them as bootstrapped entrepreneurs. These people run or own their own small petty businesses and hire their own family members and close friends or relatives to run that. The kind of money they make is just sufficient for their daily needs. They don't think of diversion or taking over any other unit and all. It's a like just to lead the life. So excuse me, these people are called bootstrapped entrepreneurs. They don't go to any financial institutions. They don't borrow money for interest and other things. They somehow manage their own savings. It may be savings, it may be some kind of a loan from their relatives and friends, and with that they run the business. It's just for a livelihood. So these are called small business entrepreneurs. Scalable startup entrepreneur, this is what the segment we are banking on. This is where all of you want to fit in. This type of entrepreneur starts business knowing that their vision. So he has a vision. This kind of entrepreneurs, they are called MVPs. MVP means they have a mission to fulfill. A mission means a goal is set up. The goal or the objective has to be met. That is what is called mission. And the vision, they know how to travel. What is the journey? They imagine completely, completely it's etched in their mind. What is the route? They have a wonderful route map to be successful. That is vision. And P is for passion. Unless you are passionate about what you do, you see there are two things. One is fashionable, and another is passionate. You can't do a business for just for fashion. You can't set up an industry or enterprise or a service just to fancy around or to be fashionable. No, you have to be passionate. You should breathe that. Every minute of life, you should be thinking about it. That is what, when you are passionate, you can absorb the pains. You don't feel those difficulties. If you are not passionate, definitely you will go out of the race one day. So these type of entrepreneurs, scalable startup entrepreneurs, they know their vision can change the world. You just go through, like just Google for some of the startups, unicorns, the kind of revolutions they've made, not only in information technology, it may be in bioenergy, it may be in healthcare. Many entrepreneurs, they have completely changed the landscape of business. So this is the scalable startup entrepreneurs. So that when you come out with such kind of an innovative new idea, there will always be people to fund you, like like maybe your angel investors, maybe your venture capitalist or financial institutions. They'll be waiting for such idea. So you are into this segment. Okay, this is what large company entrepreneurs, these people are already existing big companies, maybe the corporates. They've already developed some products or services, and their new technology will definitely revolve around those products or services, or to add something new to their kitty. For example, Amazon way back in 1994, they started their business as a book selling platform. Today, they have diversified so much, they are into everything. Sitting at Seattle, a man sitting at Seattle. So whatever, the coriander or something is grown on your, outskirts of your village or town, whatever it is, that's being packed. Person sitting at Seattle, Amazon, he sees that this gets packed, he purchases from you and sells it back to you. Don't you feel it's something amazing? How all it could happen? This is the result of information technology. My good friends, the basics of any entrepreneurship is to connect, communicate, and collaborate. Because of the collaboration they have done, because of the connectivity, because of the networking they have developed over a period of time, they are into every product. So these three C's, don't forget. One is connect to the people, communicate with the people, and collaborate. Collaboration is nothing but outsource the activities. So that is what large entrepreneurs are doing. They are outsourcing everything. Whole lot of small enterprises, they come under their umbrella. They provide this, they outsource all their requirements, but end of the day, it's being labeled as Amazon. Nobody knows from where the product comes, who is the manufacturer, and this all they could do because of the networking, because of information technology, the revolution of information technology. Then come social entrepreneurs. These people, they don't work for money. It's a social service, like they work on social problems, maybe something connected with environment or cultural. So maybe you can say some voluntary organization do this kind of, they're social entrepreneurs. They don't run the businesses for business purpose. Their idea is to serve the society, bring value to humans' life through their products and services. Hope you are with me. Fine. Yeah, what are the qualities one should possess? Let's look at some of the basics one. Unless you are creative, you can't do anything. And the professional approach. You need to be a thorough professional. The diplomacy, the accuracy, the authenticity. These are all the factors that you should inculcate to be professional. And risk taking. That's what I was talking about. There is always a calculated risk. Risk taking doesn't mean you take huge risk. No, you will not survive. You should go calculate the type, the kind of a risk, and the time at which you should take the risk. That is what is called sustainability. You should sustain till that point of time. Then only you should take the risk, and you should be passionate about what you do. Otherwise, it doesn't make any fun. You have to be passionate about your product or service because that is your baby. You should love it deeply. And planning, very important. Unless you plan meticulously, in order to plan, you should have that thorough knowledge. Unless you have knowledge about the product, about the operations, about the process, about the market, how can you plan? You can't plan. And you should be willing to listen to people. You should be open minded. You should be receptive. And the most important is you should accept the failures. There's nothing called failure, my friend. We should not take this. Failure is a word which we should never use. It's an unsuccessful attempt. There's nothing called failure. You can call failure because it is like looking. Suppose you have a glass of water. You have a glass. The water is off filled. You can define this in two way. You can say it's half empty or it's half full. The person who says it's half full is optimistic. The other one is pessimist. In similar way, you should say that it's an unsuccessful attempt. So you should be in a position to accept those things and move forward, resilient enough to bounce back and take the things forward. So these are the characters. Again, motivation. You need passion. You need vision, confidence. Unless you are confident of doing anything, you will not be able to survive. Decision making, most important. Decision making. What kind of decision you take at one point of time? Timely decisions. Not only taking the decision, you should stick to those decisions. You should stand by those decisions. You can't run away and tell that okay, I took a bad decision, I'm going out. No, you should hang on. You should hang on till such point. There will always some point, some evolution takes place in any business. So you should have that patience, that resilience, that sustainability in business. Got my point? So this on leadership, you should be a wonderful leader because you will be leading from the front. Be in a business ecosystem, in a startup ecosystem. So many stakeholders are there. There are people, basically your employees, and the marketplace, and the financiers. So many people are involved, and the technology, and the people who give you technology. So you should be in a position to lead and take decisions which are in the common interest of the enterprise and also of the stakeholders. Okay, this is very, very important. Got my point? So let's look at some of the skills what we discussed, what we like learned so far is the characteristics, some of the behaviors we learned. But let's look at some of the skills, business management skills, very important. If you are a simple technocrat, no, you cannot. You have to develop those business management skills. Business management skills involves how do you the operation things, how do you operate the whole the logistics you should know, how do you handle people, teamwork and leadership skills, communication skills. How do you communicate? Effective communication. You should communicate in such a way it should be convincing. It should reach to the person desired. So communication is very, very important. In communication, listening is the most important part. Unless you have the patience to listen to your people, maybe your employees, maybe people from the marketplace, or the financiers, all the stakeholders. See, that ecosystem involves so many people. It's augmented with so many disciplines. People from different disciplines, they are there in this enterprise ecosystem. So financial skills, critical thinking, thinking that is very, very vital. You should think before you act, and you should find out and you should assess the feasibility of your thought process. Is it viable? Is my thinking right at this point in time? Can I take this decision? So in order to take decision, you should have a analytic and critical thinking capacity. So how does the journey of an entrepreneur looks like? It's like this. Basically, when you want to become an entrepreneur, you have some idea. That idea is always lingering in your mind to bring it into to convert into product or service. So an idea, it has to be conceptualized. How does it happen? It happens with collaboration. You have an idea. That idea has to be complemented with so many other qualities to take the format of a product or service. So what do? You collaborate with people, like-minded people. Like work on technology to make it technically more feasible. And then after a thorough and like calculated collaboration with the right people, you are with a product or a service. So you start developing. You have arrived at a solution for a problem. So you start developing. In order to develop and convert into product or service to reach out to people, you need finance. How do you approach finance? How do you approach the investor? How do you convince them that you have a good product or service? So you should know all those. You should learn how to present your like project before an investor, how to pitch the advantages of your product over the existing ones, why should he fund you, and then ultimately end of the day this whole journey will take you to your objective, the mission that has been enclaved with you. That is what. So this is the complete simplest diagram to show you the different steps that do happen in a journey of an entrepreneur. Okay, got my point? And this is the ecosystem. There are so many. What I was talking about the stakeholders, culture, very important. The product or service where you are, like delivering has got its own culture. Unless you know about the culture of that particular region, the demography, you can't do. You can't, like suppose you want to serve some hilly station, it's a different product or service, and you come for some very hot temperate region, the culture is different. So you have to be aware. You should have that analytic approach to learn about the particular culture where you are pitching on. You should transcend from the basic thought process to the cultural evolution, the cultural requirement, then educating and training. It's a continuous process in enterprise. Always you should have that capacity to learn, to train. Not only you train or teach, you should also learn. Human capital is nothing but people. That is the market where you are touching on. You should know the behavior, their needs, their sentiments, their emotions. You can't simply say I have a product, use it, this is you. No, because there are so many factors that are attached for any product from the buyer's point. Emotional attachment will be there. They will have aesthetic things, status symbol, and there are you should differentiate between the need and the comfort and the luxury. As per the requirement, you should develop your product or service. Social capital, human capital is your, I'm sorry, this is your labor force, people who work with you, and social capital is people whom you are serving your product or service. And there is a law of the land. You have to comply with a lot of regulations and compliances to be met in order to take your journey forward. So this is the ecosystem. You should be aware of all these things. You should be in a position to interact positively with all these stakeholders. That means you should possess all this basic knowledge. Am I right? Hope I'm right. Okay. So what are the different stages we can simplify? Is stimulation. That is what I told you, orientation towards thought process orientation. That happens by maybe like examples of role models, and so many introductory sessions, and like motivational sessions, all those things you can do to stimulate. Unless you, because everyone will have that passion, unless you ignite the passion, you can't make them to work. So stimulate, then educate comes in the development part, then training comes, incubation. So a whole lot of incubation is completely different subject altogether. So you should stimulate first, then educate and incubate, that means coach, train, mentor them. So these are all the qualities which exist in an entrepreneurial ecosystem. So, as a successful entrepreneur, you should possess these qualities, and you should be in a position to analyze, study, and act accordingly with this all these stakeholders. Got my point? Okay. So, how do you develop these skills? So, first thing is you have to refine your interpersonal skills. Interpersonal skills are very vital, my friends. Unless you, you know, command some respect with your subordinates or your colleagues or your co-workers, you cannot take the things forward. So interpersonal skills means first thing is you should be a good and a discerning listener. You should listen to your people. Very, very vital thing. Unless you listen, when you listen to your subordinates or your people, your stakeholders, they will always have that comfort zone with which they come out with ideas, or they can express their pain points or with new ideas which can benefit the organization. So interpersonal skills is very important, how you communicate with the people. See, in communication there are so many things. One is speaking, listening, writing. See, it's a broad classification. Usually we are under a wrong notion that if I speak a good language or with a good, like a vocabulary, I can convince. No, I'll tell you one survey, it's an Harvard survey. It says that the language, I think the language part of your communication, it amounts to only to 7 to 8%. The remaining 90% is your body language, your expressions. So language alone doesn't count here. Language is just a minimum requirement. Always bear a smile on your face when you talk to your colleagues. Express in a good way, in a convincing way. You have to take people into confidence before you speak to them or you want to get the things done. So connect with other entrepreneurs in your journey. That means normally what we do, we would avoid our competitors. No, that is not the way. You should have a cordial relations with your competitors also, not only other entrepreneurs but competitors also. A healthy, because today there are lots of digital platforms where people are being associated, people are gathered to make certain decisions or to know more about each other. So digital literacy is very, very important for an entrepreneur. You have to be a part of those platforms, become one among them, share your thoughts, take their ideas, strike some balance, strike a deal. So this is how the connectivity and networking plays a vital role. So join communities, that's what I was talking about. Digital platforms, there are people, suppose if you have got a product or service, you should find out who are all the people in that particular race, connect to them, find out in what way, in what mutual way you can grow together. So business is give and take, there's nothing beyond that. So record or be organized, make a complete list of the things that you want to do, you have done. After having done, where did you go wrong, how to correct it, what are the remedies you can adopt if it's a faulty one. So resilience, that is tolerance and resilience. Don't run away from the scene. Always take out some time to de-stress yourself. Enjoy. Because business alone is not life. So take out some time so that you de-stress and become again a fresh fighter for the very next day. Hope you're with me. Yeah, the most important thing what we should discuss in enterprise and entrepreneurship is a leadership qualities. A leader is the one who influence people, who leads from the front, so that the other people will follow him. So in order to have a good followers, you should be a good leader. So what are the different types of leadership that normally exist? Autocratic or authoritarian one. This I think you must have, this kind of leadership comes in armed forces, maybe in defense segments. They are the authority, autocrat one. The one whatever he says is final. But to be an autocrat or an authoritarian, you should have that capacity to have everything under your control. That means you should be highly knowledgeable. You should have that expertise to solve anything on your own. And the democratic or a participative one. This is like how democracy work. All people will participate. All ideas are taken into consideration. A consensus. A consensus is built on for any solution. Free reign or the laissez faire. like leadership, that's we call, that is what it's existing present, like uh, all your IT segment, all they're just target oriented. They fix some target, give full freedom. Their idea is to meet the target, nothing beyond that. And for that, of course, they are incentivized. End of the day, target is the concern here. And paternalistic or fatherly, this is where a leader takes care, cares too much about his people in the ecosystem, maybe his employees, maybe the people in the market. So that it's like a fatherly figure. So what kind of leadership you should possess? You should be an amalgamation of all these characters and act accordingly when things are required. You should be an authoritarian one when situation demands. You should be democratic. You should allow your people to take decisions, work, come out with some solution, and fix them some targets also. And you should care for them. As long as you care, they are with you. The attrition rate will be low. Otherwise, when you, irrespective of what you pay, unless the atmosphere is congenial, people will not work. So, caring for your employees, not only employees, the people involved in the ecosystem of your enterprises is very vital. So, you should cultivate all these different methods of leadership in order to be successful. So, discipline is important. So, you should start taking responsibilities to be a good leader. Take on more projects. Let there be failures. Let there be some unsuccessful attempts to start with. No matter. Learn to follow. Unless you know the footsteps, the feelings, and the emotions of your followers, your subordinates, you will not be able to extract the kind of work you want to. So, situational awareness. You should act accordingly to the situation. You should take the right decision at the right moment. And you should be inspirational. You should be motivational one. Keep learning. So, resolution of conflicts. Don't allow any problem to grow further. See that it is settled across the table, involving the concerned people, taking their opinion, their grievances, their pain points into consideration, and come out with a solution. And be a good discerning listener. That's what listening to your people is very, very, very important in enterprise. See, I'll tell you a very small story about this listening, because listening is so important. What type of listener you should be? You should be an attentive listener. You should be an active listener. So it so happened once, this is a small story, let me share with you, which emphasizes the importance of listening in business. There was one sales executive. These sales executives, they are target oriented. Every quarter, I'll have to sell this much. I'll have to, generate this much of revenue for the company is what they are worried about all the time. He was selling the television sets. Television sets. He was, selling television sets to the people. And that particular quarter, he had a target. He was supposed to meet the target. If not, he had to face hard consequences. Maybe he would be removed, or his incentive. He would not have been eligible for any incentives. So he was thinking. He was a bit panicked. So as he was coming out of the office, he came out of a bus and he was just walking through. Unknowingly, he went into some territory which was unexplored. It was a very small tribal area, and by the time he realized, he was already deep in that particular area. He saw it was late in the evening, maybe around 7:30, 8 o'clock in the evening. He saw a group of tribal people around a bonfire talking to each other, everybody telling their own narratives, different stories and all. He was curious to know what these people are doing here. He walked to them and asked, what you are doing? And the main, what is that, the panchayat, a mukhia, or what do you call him? So he told, we assemble every day like this. This is a kind of entertainment for us. We narrate stories. We tell stories to each other what we know, so that it will entertain, and we'll have our dinner, and happily we go to sleep. He thought, he used his intelligence, and he was agile to tell them, suppose if I give you something which can tell better stories in the format of a motion picture, will you be happy? They said, fine, fair enough. We are just listening to each other. If something visually is there, I think definitely we'll accept it. He told them, there's something called television. I will give you. It will tell you stories. You can see, you can watch drama, you can watch news, cinemas, whatever you want, you can watch in that particular. Everyone was got excited because they were tribal people. It's a story, please. Okay. All of them, they decided to buy one set. He sold around 15 to 20 sets to all the people, and happily he went home. Oh, he met his target and he got his incentives, everything, and his promotion too. But after 3 or 4 months, he was happened to pass that way, and he was curious to know how these people are using my television sets. He went there, and again he saw those people around a bonfire and talking to, with their own narratives and stories. He was puzzled a bit. He was disappointed. I have given them wonderful television sets. Why are they not using? He asked them, what is the problem? Why are you not? Where are those television sets? And somewhere one of them, they showed, see, they were stacked and in some corner and biting the dust. He asked them, what happened? Why are you not using my television sets? They said, your televisions are good. Are they not telling the stories? They are telling wonderful stories. Then what's the problem? What's the heck of it? They said, your televisions, they only tell stories. They don't listen to our stories. So, unless you listen to people, people want to be heard. So, be patient enough, be an active listener, be an attentive and a discerning listener, and you should be empathetic when you really see the pain in their narratives. Okay, these are some of the. I just wanted to, like manifest the importance of listening with this small story. Hope. Okay, fine. So, who is a good leader? This is a wonderful quote. A leader must be tough enough to fight, tender enough to cry, human enough to make mistakes, humble enough to admit them, strong enough to absorb the pain, and resilient enough to bounce back when time demands and keep on moving. See, this is a wonderful quote by Jesse Jackson, how a leader should be. He should have all these qualities. He should commit mistakes and humble enough to admit these mistakes. We are all humans. A leader he will also be a human. He is also a human. He does mistakes. So you have to admit with all dignity and humility. Okay, these are the qualities of a leader. So why I am telling this, leadership is the most important quality of an entrepreneur. Okay, if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, you should be a good leader, and a good leader will always be a good manager too. Okay, so the main important thing in this journey of a startup is, how do we arrive this at the solutions? So there is a method. See, every product or a service is solution to some problem. Okay, maybe adding value. Again, whatever the thing is, we, like basically consider any product or service as a solution to something, some problem. Okay, so when you really want to develop a product or service, there is something called design thinking. This is the methodology you should adopt in order to develop a right solution or a right, like service or product. What is this design thinking? It's a non-linear iterative process that teams use to understand users. So iterative means repetitions, lot of repetitions. Non-linear, it's not straight. You can go front, come back. And iterative, complete repetitions that teams use to understand users, challenge assumptions, and redefine the problem. So design thinking is a process which is problem centric. So any solution, in order to generate the best solution, you should define the problem. Understanding the problem is more important. How do you understand the problems? There are it's a design thinking is a five stage process. Again, design thinking itself is a vast subject. Okay, I do a lot of workshops on this also. So there are five stages in design thinking: empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. Okay, so it's an iterative process. It's a problem centric process. This much you have. So the basic understanding is to know about the problem, to find out the roots of the problem. What are the causes of the problem? And if this problem is not solved, if you are not providing a solution to that, what are the consequences that do happen? So, studying the consequences, you arrive, you plan for a solution. So, it's a non-linear iterative process. Iterative process means lots and lots of repetitions do happen. Okay, to solve the problems. So, this is our design thinking. Empathize. Empathize is understand your customers, know his pain. See, normally we usually, when there is a problem for somebody, we pity first, then we sympathize. Oh, wish this, I'm so sorry for what has happened. Empathize is, I understand how you feel. You will get into the shoes of your customer or a client and feel the pain. So this process is called empathize. So when you feel, when you yourself face that problem, you will understand the depth of the problem and the reasons and the cause of the problem. So empathizing is very important. So that in empathy, like in empathy graph, we have the first pitying. You pity for something, then you sympathize, then you empathize. Empathize means you start feeling. You start feeling that problem. It may be emotional, it may be physical, whatever it is. You will feel that exactly the way in which your client or your customer has suffered. So, getting into your customer's shoes and understanding and feeling the problem is empathizing. What is next step? You become compassionate. You move. Yes, I am with you. I am with you to solve this. So, when you really, so usually, like how problems are solved, how a solution is arrived, you collect some normal data. Based on those, uh, data, facts, you will assess and understand the problem. You will say this is the problem and go for a solution. But here in design thinking, you feel the problem. When you feel the problem, you will understand the root of the problem. So understanding root of the problem by studying the customer, by knowing his pains, by collecting the data, you will assess and define. So you're hitting the nail on the head. So the problem is precisely defined. The clarity you get, what is the problem? So define. This stage is called defining stage. So now you are thorough, you are proper, absolutely. You have hit the nail on the head. You have zeroed in on what exactly is the problem. So that means defining a problem. Empathizing, feeling the problem, defining the problem, then goes for ideation. Ideate means you will start developing solutions. Ideation is a stage. Usually, it we usually in design thinking, it depends on the quantity of ideas you generate. Whatever maybe, it may be a crazy idea, it may be funny idea. Ideation is the process where to start with you will generate lots and lots of ideas means solutions for the problem, and then you analyze, screen, and come out with the right solution. So when you come out with the right solution, can you directly go and manufacture the product and reach out to the customer? You cannot do that. So there is something called prototyping. Prototypes are nothing but scaled down version, the miniature of the desired product. You have some ideas, you develop the product with basic functional features, so that an educative customer can use this and give the feedback. That is what is called testing. So you develop the scaled down versions, the miniature, the models of the desired product, and give it to the customer, educative customer, who will give you feedback so that you can rectify those flaws and the mistakes that have happened. So this saves a lot of money, energy. Suppose if you, without going this step, without developing a prototype, if you simply having an idea and get into a final product. Suppose if the product is not viable, suppose if it doesn't serve the purpose, if it's not the desired one, where do you stand? You have invested a lot of money, lot of time, so everything gets fizzled out. In order to contend that, prototyping is the most important stage. Develop models, iterative. That's why we call it as iterative process. You develop one prototype, sorry, yeah, and then it doesn't, like serve the purpose. It has to, you'll have to add value to that from the customer's perspective. That means getting the feedback from the testing. So this is how, when you adopt this methodology, I think you can definitely come out with the right product for for the right problem with right functionalities. So design thinking is an iterative process. It's a, like problem centric. Okay, problem centric problem centric method to generate solutions. Okay, so in design thinking, you empathize first, define the problem, ideate, come out with lots and lots of ideas. Ideation means it may be a brainstorming, it may be a mind mapping, it may be, like storyboarding. There are so many ways of ideation. How do you come out with ideas? So then go for the prototype. Different varieties of prototypes. It may be a graphic one, it may be, simulation of the product design, or the wired one. So many methods are there in ideation. Then it goes for testing. Once it is tested, its flaws are rectified n number of times till you get the desired result. So design thinking is the process that is being adopted by most of the entrepreneurs. This is a scientific one, a proven one. So try to learn more about this design thinking so that you will have that particular mindset, the right mindset to solve any problem. Okay, got my point? Ideathon, that's what. It's a small, workshop like thing where students are aspiring entrepreneurs. They generate lots and lots of ideas. I told you different methods of, ideation, maybe brainstorming, mind mapping. So many methods are there. So end of the day in Ideathon, you generate lots of ideas and analyze the ideas. First, you mine the ideas, analyze the ideas, screen them, and arrive at a right solution. This is called Ideathon, like a hackathon and all you must have heard. It's the same identical one. Okay, similar one for that matter. So boot camps. So you can also go to boot camps. Boot camps are, like short term intense programs where you are trained, you are mentored, like on different areas of business. Maybe it may be to start with, maybe, about process development. It may be in a product development area, it may be a business development area. The experts will come and train you in a very short span. Intense, these are all boot camps are nothing but intense. So they are time bound, sometimes intensity bound, and skill bound. Sometimes they will assess you what are the drawbacks, what are the pain points you are facing, and in order to solve that, they will train you. Experts from different domains will come in boot camps. Not how, I think many corporates, they do, frequently, like these boot camps in order to rejuvenate their employees. So boot camp is one where you can, like refine your entrepreneurial skills. Okay, and this also again, these are benefits of boot camp. That's what you get, all those basic things. You will get mentored, you will be trained, you will be asked to develop a prototype, you will be asked to make a presentation in front of a financier. Maybe it's not, they're all training was the mentoring ones. Okay, so orientation program, you need to attend orientation program where you listen to, like motivational stories and their, case studies. Many of the entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs, will narrate their, like stories, how they built that empire and all. So these are all you can develop attending such programs. Like you can be innovative, you can be proactive, you will learn how to take risk taking, innovativeness, proactive. These are the things will be taught in your orientation EDP program. They call it as entrepreneurship orientation programs, EOP and EDP. Okay, so you attend such programs. Maybe I think where all, though they are conducted by many institutions. I don't know, maybe in colleges and other things also they do such programs, and many organizations they do conduct such programs. Be a part of that and learn the trick. Okay, and a role of how institutions can be a part of this kind of like entrepreneurship development. Institutions should link curricula to some of the business challenges. Focus, so case studies, more of case studies will yield, make students to understand the business ethics and the, business ideas. Institutional incubation centers, so many of the, the government of India especially, they're giving, like a lot of funds to, for in order to set up incubation centers in institutions. So opportunity for students to participate in social contests. So partner with businesses, be a, maybe a, passive partner, become a sleeping partner, something like that, so that you can understand, or a technical partner where without much investment you can bring in your technology, you will understand the complete trade, complete enterprises nature. Okay, so delivering lectures in institutions will help students, and providing small consultation to nearby people around, around the institutions. If there are small business people, so once in a month or two you can conduct such programs, find out what are their pain points, where are they lacking, and you can guide them and help students to launch their own business, small businesses. Okay, technology topics is very important, always upgradation of, not the curriculum should be in such a way that it should upgrade pertaining to technology. So these are all some of the things an institution can definitely do, so that it can, help students to gain this entrepreneurship qualities. So some of the lessons that you can learn in entrepreneurship is basic lessons. A pilot project, always pilot project means that prototyping. Okay, stop worrying and focus on goals, and don't worry too much. So always be goal oriented. Focus is not just concentrating on your goal. Focus is also not to concentrate anything other than the goal. Okay, no point in despairing or don't worry about the mistakes unless you commit mistake, but be analytic. You should introspect, where did you go wrong. Swiftly adapt to changes in the landscape. You should be receptive. You should accept the changes, study the changes. If it's viable, adopt it. Don't get impatient, because it's, any startup is not a sprint race, it's a marathon. It's a continuous progressive journey. Respect and admire rivals in business. You should always respect your competitors, or, contenders who are there in your particular landscape. And always you should have that urge to learn things. It's not my way or the other way. Don't think you're always right or everything is right. So in business, the important thing is not what you know. The most important thing is whom you know. In order to know people, connect, communicate, and collaborate. Okay. Well, this is, as far as the Indian context is concerned. Let me not go into that. So with these, small, I hope I've done justice reasonably. I have made you to understand some basic concepts of innovation and entrepreneurship. My idea of this program is to orient you to that particular thought process of a startup journey. Okay, I hope I've done reasonable justice, and I take this opportunity to thank profusely the organizers, the management, and the coordinators of IGP for making me a part of this knowledge sharing session. So the new year is fast approaching. Uh, you may be in any part of the world. I would wish all of you a very happy, a prosperous, a progressive, healthy new year, so that you will become a force to reckon with in this coming 2024. Thank you, my good friends. I'll take leave of you. Thank you so much. Ma'am? Yes, ma'am.
Thank you
I'm
so
done.
much, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for a rich content presentation which can impact our knowledge. Surely, after your presentation, I hope our knowledge seeker can learn something new, which was our only intention. Learn and grow together. IGP knowledge seeker. Once again, thank you so much, sir, for your presentation. Now,
Th-
sir, it's time for our question answer session. which is the one more valuable part of our regular webinar. Honorable sir, please stay with us. After a short video, we will back in our session part 2, which is
Okay,
the
ma'am.
question answer part. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Welcome back, sir. Welcome back to our participant, dear IGP knowledge seeker. Please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Sir, our first question is from
Yeah.
Utrim. What do
Yes.
you need to know as a potential entrepreneur and as the general public or a potential investor, colleague, employee to identify, establish, and enhance entrepreneurial attitude, behavioral skills?
I think it's a very lengthy and like question. Nevertheless, see, the basic thing is to your own conscience. So the basic thing to understand is to there will always see some burning desire within you. See, usually, naturally, everyone is a born entrepreneur. Everyone will have that burning desire to do something. But the thing is, it's always submissive. It has to be ignited. So that comes with some basic exposure to different terrain of entrepreneurship. Okay, maybe that's what you study about the successful entrepreneurs, success stories, maybe some of the case studies. So all this, when you start going through such kind of an exercises, definitely there'll be some kind of a whatever the like hidden potential will start blossoming in you. And of course, once you start traveling in the journey, everything will fall in line. You will come to know, especially there are lots and lots of digital platforms, and you are talking about something about potential investors and all. See, investors, they are all there, like you have angel investors, financial institutions, but end of the day, how you reach out to them, So have a connectivity, have the networking on different portals. You present your a brief profile. See, this is what your ideas, and your idea should be a game changer. One thing, my dear friend. So an investor will always look for something new, something feasible, and something economical. So only thing, in order to have that mindset, start practicing. Okay, consciously you attend such programs, consciously know about entrepreneurs. See, make it a part of your life as the way in which you study curriculum. The same fashion, look into success stories, look into the pains that they have undergone, and study the changes, the voluminous, the revolution they have made in their particular domain. I think with this expertise of mine, I'll be able to. This is what I can share with you, my good friend. Have a great evening, or afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your answers. Sir, there is no more questions from our participant. So once again, thank you so much, sir, for your time in IGP. We have learned a lot from you with new topic. It will add some value to our day-to-day activity along with our academic and professional growth.
Sure, ma'am.
Honorable
Sure, ma'am.
sir,
Thank you.
hope to see you again with a new topic and a new
Thank
day.
you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Take care.
And good luck and a very happy and prosperous new year to all of you, my good friends. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Honorable sir, before we move to the next, if you want to leave this studio, you can. Dear IGP knowledge, it is time for the webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition quiz certification. Dear IGP knowledge, it is time for the webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. Certification process. Visit www.ddoigp.com. Please make sure your presence on our website. Find a learning session and get enrolled. After watching completing part 1, move to the next with the learning test, passing mark 80% if passed. Back to the course again to download your certificate. If failed to retake the quiz, download your certificate in PDF or JPG. For your attention, I'm going to share the procedure again. Visit www.ddoigp.com. Please make sure your presence on our website. Find a learning session and get enrolled. After watching completing part 1, move to the next with the learning test, passing mark 80% Download your certificate in PDF or JPG. Dear IGP knowledge seekers, time for the most engaging part of this webinar, which is an online quiz competition, which is a regular webinar activity. We change a few process for online quiz competition. Note that after life, no one can participate. Now, time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. Now, time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. Visit www.radioigp.com and sign up or sign in. Without this, you cannot join live quiz competition anymore. Browse the live quiz button or given link. Find the session name and join with a logged website or account. Click join and wait for a few minutes for others to join and join online quiz competition. After the quiz, we will issue certificate for top 10 as previously, which you can find on official Facebook page and group instead of Global Professional. After a short video, we will start our quiz session. With 19 people, we are going to start our quiz session right now. First question is theoretic attitude about work and wealth that justified the ruthless behavior of entrepreneurs. Is it option 1 or option 2? Option 2 is the right answer. 29% people are right here. Second question is entrepreneurs are cautious of their behavior and attitude towards work so their employees will follow their example. Is it true or false? Option 1 is the right answer. 100% people are right here. Our next question is the entrepreneurial mindset is a blend of characteristic, attitude, and skill. Is it true or false? Option 1 is the right answer. 100% people are right here. Our next question is professional behavior, a positive attitude, good communication skill, proper ergonomics are. Is it option 1 or option 2? Option 2 is the right answer. 69% people are right here. Our next question is who said the ABC are attitude, behavior, and communication skills? Is it option 1 or option 2? Option 2 is the right answer. 75% people are right here. Our next question is entrepreneur process interpersonal skill have whole some attitude and character and are honest. Is it option 1 or option 2? Option 2 is the right answer. 31% people are right here. Our next question is entrepreneur needs to have good communication skill, determined and risk taking attitude. Is it true or false? Option 2 is the right answer. 100% people are right here. Our next question is ICT skill, positive attitude, be creative are all skill and qualities of an entrepreneur. Is it true or false? Option 1 is the right answer. 100% people are right here. Our second last question of the session is professional behavior, positive attitude, time camaraderie, good communication skill, proper are the option 1 or option 2? Option 2 is the right answer. 43% people are right here. Our last and final question of the session is protocol diminution include attitude, behavior, and skill to interact with customer. Is it true or false? Option 2 is the right answer. No one is correct here. Congratulations to our online quiz competition in your top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalize the result. After that, we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. Congratulations to our online quiz competition in your top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalize the result. After that, we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. Congratulations to our online quiz competition in your top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing the result. After that, we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. At the end of our session, we can say properly feed your skill. Never stop learning, cause life never stop teaching us. Be happy, stay safe. See you again and again. We want your participation in every program. If you want to live a happy life, right to a goal, not a people of things, Albert Einstein. Before I start, hit the like button. I can also thank all IGP knowledge seeker for your active participation as well as see you again in the next session. Thank you.